But again, we'll probably leave that just for the moment until we get a bit more assets in the level here, and then we'll play with our actual lights. See if we can get into an angle, there we go, where we can see it a little bit better. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to place a light in front of this, which is going to shine light out. We're going to place a light behind it, which is going to shine light up the wall. Because remember, we're faking all of this. It's not a real light source. So, all right, we've got those two lights there. I'm just trying to work out where we may put lights here. And again, the size as well. I just want to make sure the size is correct before I start multiplying it around too much. I think the size is okay. Again, it's really difficult to tell until we get the stairwell in to use that as a comparison for our scale. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure about where to place the light fittings here, whether to place them on the column or to place them on the panel. Yeah, don't know about that, not sure. Not sure. So I'll leave that decision just for the moment. Now, initially you can see here in the level when I exported it, I have this texture already attached to the stairs, and all it is a flat texture on the step, which I'm changing up for our main stairwell, because originally that was the way it was in our main stairwell, which is going to go here. But you see that that's, for carpeting, that's a really crisp line. Like the edge there is really way too crisp for carpet. So what I did with the stairwell at the front here was actually created a separate piece which I took into ZBrush and smoothed up a bit, put a few wrinkles in. It's hard to see in the texture there. Which I've then overlaid on top of the actual step here for our main stairwell. Let me just select that. We'll go into isolation mode so we can get a better look at it. So yeah, for our main step here, I took the carpeting into ZBrush so that I could soften up those hard edged corners to make it look more realistic as carpet. And I want to do the same thing with the inside of that building there on that second stairwell that goes up to the second floor at the back of the building. So what that's going to mean is I'm going to have to re-export that interior piece again and remove the carpeting that's already there. So I'm basically going to have to re-import this floor section, remove the carpeting, and then place the carpeting as a separate asset, I think, in the level. Also, what I'm looking at here is, this is the bottom of our second level. And I actually think it would benefit from having plastering more like is going on here in our hallway sections. Initially it wasn't like that in the level, it was just that marble looking texture. But I think having a plaster work would look more interesting, so we're going to do that. The same thing goes in here actually. That ceiling was never plastered, it was just this, I don't know what you call it, it's like a white marble type texture. But I think that again would benefit from having actually the plaster work mesh placed there, which means we're going to have to create a separate mesh that we can bring in to place in here. But for the moment, let's look at this this piece through here, because we have a light fitting that goes up here. So I'm going to duplicate this piece of plaster. We're going to see if we can make it fit without having to create a specific piece for it. Then if we can't, then it just means we do have to create a special piece for it. Just going to scale it back. Again, let's get into a position here where we can see what's going on a little bit better. And again, our railing sections, they have wooden slats that cover all of these sides, so we'll look at that when we place the rail sections in a minute. Let's get this plaster positioned properly first. Now we have two options here. We can either make the plaster smaller so it finishes at that edge, or we can stretch it out so it finishes at that edge. And I think it would look better stretched out so that we have a large piece here, and then we're going to have a rectangular piece of plaster along here, as opposed to a smaller rectangle here and a really long plaster piece through here. Again, I'm just pulling down so I can see a little bit better. I'm turning off snapping work. No, it's okay. I thought I had snapping turned on, but I don't. That's okay. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more still. No, too much. Again, I'm just looking at what's going on here, and I actually think we may take that all the way back to this piece of plaster in here. Just looking at the design here. No, I think that should be okay. So let's move it back. Now again, doing this in the top viewport as opposed to the camera viewport probably would be easier. The reason I don't do it is just because it's a lot more boring for you guys to watch me working in a top viewport with a wireframe than in 3D here. But if you're making this and you're not being watched on Twitch, then doing it in the top viewport probably a better way to go. But ain't nobody want to look at wireframes, me moving wireframes around in a top viewport. That's incredibly boring. I'm just going to pull this up towards the ceiling a little bit more. Now the width, I think the width is a bit too wide. I may do this from the top though, that might be easier. Or maybe not. Okay, I think these panels need to come up a little bit at the back. Looks like I could come up just a little bit more. Okay. Alright, let's get some of these stair paneling in so we can see if we can cover this small gap we've got between the plasterwork and the top of the floor above. Like I said, initially this wasn't designed to have paneling through here, so it may be that we actually need to create a specific piece for there, but we'll see how we go. If we can't cover it up with the railings. So let's have a look at our rail sections that we can bring in. Let's bring this one in. This is the mezzanine rail, so this is a bit that goes at the back here. Let's pull that in. Again, I'm just waiting for Unreal to compile the shader. What are you doing here? I'm just going to open this asset up and have a look at what's going on. Okay. I'm just trying to remember if I created a blueprint for that or not. Just going to remove it and jump into my blueprints folder. I did. I created a blueprint, so we'll pull the blueprint in instead. And let's rotate it 90 degrees. Scale it up. I'm just going to deselect that. And again, I made a blueprint here because we're reusing separate assets. So I made the blueprint using duplicates of one asset so that we saved on memory, poly count, all that sort of stuff. And then created the blueprint so it was easy for me to actually move into the level and place, as opposed to working with separate pieces and putting them together inside the level. Doing it outside in a blueprint prior to actually placing it Makes your life much easier. Okay, let's bring in one of the railing sections as well. Again, I think I have that in a blueprint. I think it's this one. Let's rotate it 90 degrees. Again, I've got to make sure it's facing the right way. Good. Let's scale it up. I've got to remember if this is actually where this piece goes or not. I should really jump back into Max to check this. In fact, I may do that really quickly just so that I know that I'm not using the wrong piece in the wrong spot. Just jump out of isolation mode. Jump inside of our building. Okay, I didn't actually place the piece in the remake that we were doing here. That's okay. Okay, and I need to place another 2 columns, so let's do that. And there are these columns at the front, alright. So, let's duplicate one of these columns. I think these wall panel pieces need to go back just a little bit. Quite a bit actually. Let's duplicate it one more time. Again, we're going to move these 2 wall panel pieces back. Okay. Now here. Here we're going to maybe get a bit creative. We have a couple of options here. Let's pull in one of the we have an asset that is just one of these pillars, one of these corners. Let's have a look at that. Maybe just in my separate models folder. It's this one here. Again, I'm just going to check the assets we've got in this folder. Yep. Let's pull one of these in. I'm just going to move it over the other one to get the scale correct. That looks okay. Let's see if we can move these into these corners. And we'll duplicate it again. Going to pull them forward a little bit so that they cover that corner, the top of the rail sticking through just a little bit. There we go. All right. I'm just going to take a break. Hey, Smurfberry Barbecue, good to see you. I actually saw you pop into chat just as I'd finished my stream last night, so it's good to see you, Smurfberry. What have you been up to? Are you celebrating the 4th of July, or is that not something you're into? But it is good to see you, Smurfberry. We have finished working on the outside of our building. We're working on the interior of our Deco building now. The new commute doesn't let you get home until 7 to 7:15. Yeah, that's cool. That's okay. It's good that you're here now. I thought you might be out celebrating 4th of July, Independence Day. Isn't that a big deal? Actually, I shouldn't assume. I just assume you're in the US. I thought you said you were. But it is good to see you. And, you know, I understand that, you know, you guys have to work and you can't be watching my stream when I stream, so that's fine. Because I know I stream on weekdays, which is when, you know, people have to work. Yeah, and I start at 5 in the US, which is Pacific time, though. But until 7. You're working on your plant sculpt. Oh, okay. So you're sculpting a plant. I don't... And Smurfberry says there are some fireworks scheduled for a few hours from now, just a couple of miles from... Oh, cool. Fireworks is always a good thing to go and watch. Particularly if they put any music to it. It's always very cool. Lots of pretty colours and explosions. Yeah, and I know it's a big deal for you guys in the US, so... As it should be. It's your Independence Day. So good to hear. What do you mean plant sculpture though, Smurfberry? I don't understand. What's a plant sculpture? You're making like a plant and you're sculpting it, or is this 3D or is this real life? What? Explain. You've got me intrigued now. We're working on a plant sculpture. I'm reading that right, aren't I? Yeah. Oh, Mudbox. Okay, cool. I'm just curious, when you say plant, you mean like as in a growing thing, like a tree or a bush or a flower, that type of thing. You've got a picture. I'll pop it into chat there. Hang on. Just before you do that, let me double check. I'm pretty sure you're still a regular in Nightbot, so you should be okay, but I will double check for you. I don't want Nightbot to time you out. My mouse goes funny sometimes. Actually, no, you're not. So just don't post a link, Smurfberry. Otherwise, Nightbot will time you out. Why is my mouse doing that? That's really weird. Just a sec, guys. My mouse is misbehaving. Really misbehaving. Yeah, just a sec, Smurfberry. My mouse has decided to go nuts. Okay. Yeah. You, just give me 2 seconds. It could be the tablet fighting with the mouse. That's a good point, Smurfberry, because I do use a Wacom tablet and it could be interfering with my mouse. You are a regular, Smurfberry, so you shouldn't have a problem with posting a link. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, you're a regular, so posting a link should be fine. If you want to show me a picture, oh, cool. And yeah, again, guys, anyone that was a regular prior to me having a subscription button can still post links in Twitch chat. New guys, though, because of the subscription thing, only subscribers can post a link in chat now. But if you're not a subscriber, you can still join my Phil Does 3D server. I can send a link to that in the Twitch app, and you can post links in that. You don't have to subscribe. Yeah, no, you're good, Smurfberry. You're a regular. You were added to the regulars prior to the subscription thing being a thing. So you guys that were regulars before I got my subscription button will continue to be able to post in Twitch chat. Let's have a look at this picture. Oh, okay. This is something Smurfberry Barbecue is working on. That's really interesting. I can see why you're sculpting it up now. It makes much more sense. It's very alien. It looks really cool. Really cool. I like the detail you've got going on here. That's really, really cool. Really creepy. Yeah, really creepy, but very cool. And like I said, the detailing is really nice. Yeah, no, that's looking great. Textured up, it's going to look outstanding because the detailing work is very nice. Yeah, no, very nice. How are you finding Mudboss, Smurfberry? Is it thanks, Smurfberry. Yep. It was just a part of becoming an affiliate. Twitch decided to give all affiliates sub buttons. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I'm not knocking it, not knocking it, but you know, it's there. It's great, cool. People want to sub, they can. They don't have to though, because yeah, I'll always have. That's the only reason. Just I don't want you guys getting dark on me because I have the sub button and now I won't let you post in chat if you weren't a regular prior to now. It's just with Twitch having a subscription, you have to give subscribers extra value for subscribing to your channel, which is fair enough. I mean, if they're paying money, then why not? And part of that is the ability only for subscribers to post in Twitch chat, unless you're a regular Smurfberry prior to the subscription. But I'm on Twitch to look at your guys' work, which is what I'm looking at here with Smurfberry's plant here. which is why I'm on Twitch. I want to encourage you to do 3D. I want to look at your work. So to get around that problem, what I've done is created a Phil Does 3D server on the Twitch desktop app, which you can download for free from Twitch. Join my server here, and so long as you're a follower, you don't have to be a subscriber, but so long as you're a follower, you can post in the chat on my server on the Twitch desktop app. So that's just to so I can still look at your work if you didn't want to subscribe but you weren't a regular. Just to clear all that up. But no, I'm happy to have the sub button. It's a good thing. But the plant is looking wonderful. And so again, though, just for the sake of anyone watching that might want to join the Phil Does 3D server, I will post a link in chat right now that you can click to join the server. It's just an invitation link. If you click on that and you're a follower, say, or you want to follow the channel and you want to post a link, click that link and join the Phil Does 3D server, and then you can post in general chat on the server with your links. You don't have to be a subscriber there. But subscribers do have their own channel their own chat channel on that Phil Does 3D server as well, just as something extra for them. But again, I really like that. That's looking really cool. Very creepy, but very cool. The detailing is very nice. And textured up, it's just going to look amazing. Are you doing this for a portfolio piece, Smurfberry, or is you making a game? What are you doing with it? And it's cool if it's just for a portfolio piece, because those sort of things always grab people's attention. That's for sure. It does. It looks really cool. Creepy, but cool. It's incredibly alien. It's going into your portfolio. Cool. It's mostly for fun, though. Okay, no problem. Well, no, these sort of things are really good to put in your portfolio because, yeah, like I said, unique pieces like that will always grab anyone's attention if they're looking at your work, which is why when you guys ask me for my opinion on your portfolios, I always suggest you don't fill it with cars and you don't fill it with guns. By all means, put a gun in there and put a car in there, but don't fill it full of those sort of things because everybody does that. They all do. Trust me, I've seen enough portfolios in my years. They all stick guns in there and they all stick cars in there, and as somebody looking at people's work, particularly if you're trying to get a job, you want your work to be memorable, and it's not going to be memorable if it's full of guns and cars. Okay? And like I said, I don't want to knock people who like creating guns and cars. That's fine. I mean, it's cool. But try and keep it to one of each piece, not 10 guns and 10 cars. Variety. Variety is the key to everything, particularly when it comes to your portfolio if you're looking for work. That and limiting the amount of images you have, because people don't want to look through 40, 30, even 20 images. They try and keep it under 12. You'll make the person looking at everyone's work, like the hiring person, much happier, and they're more likely to look at your work and not just think, geez, look at this page full of images they want me to look at. No, that's not going to happen. But that looks great, Smurfberry, and thanks for sharing it. And please, if you get a chance and you're not working and I'm streaming and you start doing a bit more work on it, pop back into chat and let us see it, because I love looking at your work, everybody's work. But like I said, I know with your work it's a bit more difficult. Let's just save our level here because we've done a bit of work and we don't want to lose what we've done. I don't trust my mouse here. It's going to pop out to give Smurfberry, in case he hasn't seen our environment here, a bit of a preview of what's going on. Now again, this is these all do move in the wind. We are fully wind animated. Let's just turn that on. OBS hates it, but we'll turn it on anyway. Wait for the gusts to pick up. Them God rays, eh? Again though, I haven't actually turned on this new environmental fog feature that is in Unreal Engine 4.16, and that really does help to add a lot of realism. We'll do that at the end once we've fleshed out the interior of the building. but we have our plant, and I see my OBS dropping down to like 23 frames. It really hates wind animation. So I'm just going to turn it off so that you guys don't get a stuttery mess from OBS. Trust me, it's really smooth in my viewport. It's only OBS that's doing it. It seems to be since the new update to version 19 of OBS. Actually, let's just jump into our bookmark here. It's easier and quicker for me to jump around. Why are my bookmarks all thrown off? Okay, this is the where we start. The camera will start here at our main gate. And we'll travel through and down our garden path. Over our first terrace. Over our second terrace. We'll probably do a few camera cuts when we do the cinematic here as well. We won't just do one long camera move like I did in the original. And then we'll probably do some camera cuts here around the this pond until we do a camera movement through our building. You're talking about this level as being intricate, Smokeberry? Because that plant thing that you're creating is pretty intricate too. There's a lot of detail going on in your model. We do have a lot of stuff going on here, but again, I don't have any slowdowns. It's all speed tree plants, so yeah, no, everything. Even these rock meshes, as I was saying, they're low poly really. They're about 3,000 polygons, but we've baked out the normal maps from the high-res mesh in Substance Painter, so they look a lot higher than they actually are. And then we have our moss growing on it, which we control through our shader as to how much or how little we want inside of the engine. Yeah, no, the alien plant that you're doing is very intricate. And so you're telling me it's got tissue layers that are separate meshes that are a big pain to create. I bet they are. Mudbox is a great program though. I was using Mudbox quite a bit prior to now. I don't have it installed at the moment. I've only got ZBrush installed at the moment. I prefer Mudbox. I like the interface of Mudbox. It's much simpler and easier to use. I really dislike ZBrush's interface. It's very busy and they hide stuff within menus and it's not nice. I know a lot of you guys use ZBrush and you love it. I love the program, but I just don't like the interface. Whereas Mudbox is much cleaner and much more streamlined. It's much more like Max. I haven't reinstalled it though, simply because Autodesk aren't really developing it much anymore. It's still available on Autodesk, but they're trying to integrate it into Maya now. And I'm concerned that they're going to drop support for it in the end. I hope they don't, because I think we need an alternative to ZBrush. And I prefer it to ZBrush, but yeah, I'm just concerned that Autodesk may kill it off like they did Softimage or Softimage. Time will tell. Because they've already, they do small updates for it, but they don't do any major new features. They don't add anything new to it anymore. And that's always a worry. When a company stops adding new stuff to their software, it's a worry. And again, though, for you guys that were that are Max users and that were having the program crash like I was when I was using Max 2017, I'm still using 2016 this week on stream, but I'm going to be switching to Max 2018. I haven't been using that because it's been crashing like 2017 did, but I still got to do a bit of testing. But the new NVIDIA driver that was released in June on the 29th, the very latest NVIDIA driver, seems to have fixed those crashes. So Autodesk worked with NVIDIA to try and fix the problems that the software was having, and since that new driver release, it seems to be much more stable. At least that's what the other guys that I work with have been telling me. So I will test it out, no doubt, over the weekend, and providing all goes well, we'll start using 2018 in future streams. Oh yeah, 2018 is out, yeah. 2018's been out for about 3 or 4 months now. I just haven't used it because, yeah, it was unstable like 2017 was. It kept crashing, but it seems to all be good now. Now that they've updated the NVIDIA driver and Autodesk work with NVIDIA to fix the problem, I have been told through other people that work with the software that it's good to go. So provided that is true, I will test it over the weekend and we will start using it on stream from then on. because I like Max, and the new version is great because they really sped up the viewport, nitrous viewport, and made the buttons and everything look a bit nicer, a bit more modern. So I'm keen to use the new version. But yeah, I haven't been using it because it was crashing. It wasn't just crashing, it was freezing my entire computer. The only way I could work was to actually manually turn the PC off and turn it back on again. I couldn't even escape the program. It was terrible. But that apparently is all good to go now, so yeah, we'll see. I'll test it over the weekend and we'll see. Because I always like using the latest version of Max, it's always good. Like I said, they speed it up all the time, so. I am just going to grab a quick coffee. I got sidetracked a bit. This one is gone cold and I really want a warm one.